that he has taken this path with regard to this. And like I said, there are some things that the prosecutor's office done that we agree with. When you're talking about taking guns off the street, when you're talking about public safety, the NAACP absolutely agrees with that. But when you're talking about removing a duly elected official, like the mayor, without going through the ballot, we against that. When you're talking about gagging Commissioner Days, another duly elected official, because whatever, I can't speak to what he had in his mind, we disagree with that. So that's where we're at with it. And let me just say this. There are people in the community who have strong views, and it is up to those of us who are in leadership to let them know that their views can be moderated through regular systems, through order, through process and procedure, and that's why we're doing this. We could have a town hall and fill it up with people who are saying all kinds of things, but I don't think I know that's not good for the health of this community. We need a regular process, we need a regular order, and we need unity in the community. We can't get that if we have leaders, respected leaders, mistreated. Wayne?
Do you have a preferred candidate, someone you would like to see succeed Mr. Reynolds as prosecutor?
That's a good question. At this point, no. At this point, no. We'll see how that process goes. I started to make a joke and say we'll make Days a prosecutor, but that's a joke. No. But I do think the reason that's a good question is because whoever the next prosecutor is going to be, he or she has to make sure that they are not unduly influenced by anything except the public good, whoever that person is. And it is going to be another prosecutor in Atlanta County, and he or she is out there, and I think that has to be paramount, because we're all influenced by politics, government, ambitions, but when you're in law enforcement, you can't let that happen. And it's too important. The prosecutor impacts everyone in this county, and he or she has to be someone who, whether you agree with their judgment or not, is impeccable, and it's not guided by politics. And we don't have to agree with the prosecutor. We're not trying, the NAACP is not trying to run the prosecutor's office and tell him how to prosecute his cases, but we are questioning when his judgment, his discretion, his discernment seems to be off track.
Just one quick follow-up.
Go ahead.
Are you concerned that there's going to be less likelihood and less willingness on the part of the community to cooperate with law enforcement in the current situation, current climate?
Unfortunately, I am, and I say I don't take any pleasure, really. I don't take any pleasure in saying this. When people, my constituents, when in a barbershop, in the African American community, barbershop is a town hall and a meeting place. When they hear, and the mayor and I have to go to the same barbershop, when they see the mayor, who's the highest elected local official, treated like he was treated with the raid, that doesn't inspire confidence. When they see the commissioner almost bound and gagged politically, that doesn't inspire confidence, especially in young people. When we're saying, listen, get involved, get civically engaged, vote, go to meetings, run for office if you want to. When they see that people who have power don't act correctly, that doesn't help. And really, it makes our job harder. It makes our job, I see some of my NAACP members say, thank you all for coming. It makes our job harder when we say, listen, the way to effectuate change is to get involved. They see that and they say, well, man, this is the mayor, and they did that to him. Days is the highest county official, and they tried to do that to him. So it really makes our job harder. And again, you don't have to agree with the NAACP, but I think some basic things, Wayne, we need to agree on. Those basic things: respect, integrity, accountability, civility, the rule of law, due process. I think we should agree on that. And that's the way that those of us who are in elected or appointed office act.
What would you say to someone who asks, well, why not let the process play out and wait until, the election of a prosecutor, or wait until he finishes his term, so on and so forth?
That's a good question. There's some other things that I won't articulate that are happening with regard to a process. And again, I wish that I didn't have to be here saying this. And I know the mayor and Dr. Small and Manny, I can't speak for them, but if they could roll back the wheel of time, they would roll back a time where this didn't even happen. But we are where we are. So I'm hopeful that we can heal and can move forward. But there are some things moving that, again, I'm not at liberty to say with regard to that. Yes, sir.
Follow up then. Since that's the case, are you calling for just the removal of the current prosecutor or the whole staff?
That's a good question. That's a hard question. No, I think it would be overreach. We accuse the prosecutor of overreach, and what he did, I think would be wrong for us to say the whole staff should be removed, because as the man said, leadership is you have the weight of making decisions, and even if you get input from people that is not correct, as the leader, you have to weigh that and implement. So I don't know what they did to decide that. I don't know whose input informed them about the raid on the mayor's house or the attempt on Commissioner Days. I don't know, but I think that if we remove the head, the leadership, that impacts how the culture of any group or organization or office is implemented. And again, I take no pleasure in that, but I think we cannot have a law enforcement that is viewed as discriminatory or viewed as political.
Okay.
Again, a friend of mine said about people's perception. He said perception is reality, and that's true. How we perceive things is how we move forward. And we can't have a perception in the community that there are two systems of justice, that if you're not a particular, from a particular group, you get a different quantity of justice. Or if you're not in a particular party, you get treated differently. That's wrong. And that shouldn't happen. Yes, sir.
One last question. I'm sorry. So then, was it one particular thing that led you to this, that led the NAACP to this decision, or was it a cumulative of how each of the individuals were treated in this matter?
Well, not just the NAACP, faith groups, Muslim community, fellowship churches, which represents 37 churches, other people who saw it. And again, people who are, I don't want to say system, but people who are not involved in so-called mainstream activities. They see it. They're talking on the corners, they're talking in the barbershop, they're talking in beauty parlors, but sometimes they feel that their involvement can't move the needle. So those of us who are involved have to say that we hear you, and when your assessment is correct, we'll move the needle for you. That's what we do. If you're in a position, if you're elected, if you're appointed, if you're a community leader, a neighborhood leader, that's what you have to do. We have to make sure that the system works for people and make sure that they're heard. So that's my answer to that. Anything else?
It does have a line to that. With the prior prosecutor, there was an Atlantic, the Attorney General's office actually did an investigation into him after there'd been some complaints.
Right.
Is that a step that you may take? I know right now it seems you're only calling for him to resign, not for him to be pushed out. So is that?
Then you're trying to get to our strategy. It's very good. I think that we are going to follow our procedures, and I think this is not the end of this process. This is the beginning. And you hear something related to that.
You know when his term ends?
I believe it's 2027, I believe. every process is a 5-year term.
And do you think he did, I know the imam talked about if he really had a case, he should have gone on with the other two, but do you think he did the right thing in the end in calling for the dismissal?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I think he did. I think, I wrote in, and some other people wrote in, I think that, this case did tremendous damage to community fabric. And again, I want to be clear,